Now to the story guide. The first thing you must get clear about this is that the story is about the customer. Okay? Remember, I said the brand story guide is trying to come up, this is a method that helps you come up with your messaging using what I already shared with you about how the human mind works. Alright? But this time in a storytelling format. So it's simple, anybody can do this. This is not hard work. You're simply telling a story about your business. That's the messaging. Alright? But what you have to understand is that the story is about your customer. That's simple. The story is about the customer, and these are the brands. This is where most brands feel, where most business feel in messaging. They make the story about their businesses instead of about the customer. And I've been in classes where I'm teaching my students about this session, brand clarity and messaging. And I'm like, sell to me, like try to sell your product to me. And then they stand up, say, my products, maybe I'm selling health products, for example, medicine. Say it's of course I could add some exaggerations because I wouldn't remember what the person is saying, but just to help you get what I'm trying to say. Okay, this product cures cancer, liver, kidney infection. If you take it, it will make you healthy. All your bones become strengthened and very strong. In fact, a saw will not be able to cut your hands after I take this medicine. Of course, they didn't say that one, but I'm just trying to tell you the essence is that they just spend time healing the product, right? Telling you why, like how that this product is so good. In fact, it's the last remaining in Africa. I just had to. Yeah, I'm the only one that has it. Once you buy it from me now, before I'll get the next one, it's only 50 pieces remaining in the whole world. Alright. So those are the kind of things I get when I tell people to sell, like before the class. That usually changes after the class. Alright. But somehow before the class, when I say sell to me, those kind of things. Start telling you, let's say you're selling a cloth. This cloth is just so beautiful. Alright. It's just so beautiful. It was made with this kind of wool, this kind of linen. You can't find this kind of material anywhere else in the market. You would only find it in my own hands. And you can find me giggling. Well, I like why I'm saying this, because those kind of things doesn't really work. Alright. Why? Yeah, selling it would get you some results, no doubt. Alright, if you are talking to a very hungry audience, your target audience. But if you want to get the most from your marketing, the story should not be about the product. Alright. And I'm telling you this as I'm giving instructions, not as a suggestion. Alright. Because I'm saving you from a lot of I don't want you to have experiences burning money on ads that don't convert. So when you sell it, the story should be about the customer, not the product. Alright. So I'll give you further examples. When you're now, the next thing on the slide is, let me move so you better understand this. Every person wants to be the hero in their own story. They can't be two heroes in one story. Alright. So in every movie we'd always have one main actor and only one main actor only. At least the movies I've watched agrees with this theory. I don't know, for some of you that have watched many movies and I've read exceptions, I don't know about that one. But the ones I've watched agree to this theory. So every person wants to be the hero in their own story, and there simply can't be two heroes in one story. So every time people make the story about their products, what they end up doing is making their products the hero in the story, and it shuts the customer out. They will hear you, they will understand your message, be like, well, very good. That's good. Good product. And then you go about their business. Because they don't see how it affects their life, how it changes how it affects their own story. So every person wants to be the hero in their own story. There can't be two heroes in one story. So instead of hailing your product, telling us about all the features of this particular gadget, why your product is the best in town, why there's only one you, or one of your product is of its only kind in planet Earth. Alright, note that every person wants to be the hero in their own story. Simply put, alright, there can't be two heroes in one story. You have to make the story about them. They have to see what is in it for them, what it's trying to achieve for them. So if you cannot do that, you will lose them. It's not necessarily because they don't understand it, they just don't understand. Like I said, everybody has to be wants to be the hero in their own story. You can't be two heroes in one story. So this is what you want your product to be. You don't want your product to be the hero in its own story. No, no, right? That's the wrong approach to take. So for most movies, the character has a problem and needs a guide. Alright, the guide usually gives them a plan or calls them to action or somehow plays a role that helps them fulfill their destiny, or achieve what they need to do for that movie. So for example, you have Legend of the Seeker. Legend of the Seeker, the hero there is, oh my god, Richard Cypher. I remember. You know, Richard Cypher. You are the true seeker. That if I remember the intro well. Then he's the hero in the movie, but then you still have, there will still be a character that the main character will need a guide, someone that helps them. This is the normal. If you've watched any movie, you see this same play along in, any, major selling movie that you've come across, at least the ones I've watched. So, and I don't really, I won't be watching so many movies again lately anyway. You will tell from the name of movies I'm mentioning. So, Richard Cypher holding that sword. So, for example, but this thing cuts across, cuts across the major stories, and you'll be able to tell this by yourself from the movies you've watched. It applies to all stories. So you see Richard Cypher, he had somebody that was, a guide to help him fulfill his destiny. And I think you could say that was Killan, or that confessor, if you've watched the movie. You could even be confused because there are plenty guides, but that was the mother confessor, the Killan, what you want to do actually. Let me give you another scenario. For example, Merlin. Alright, Merlin's the main character of the movie, but still, he needed a guide, somebody that can give him a plan, help call them to action. And for Merlin, that character was Gaius, right? So, for every story, there is a hero. For most movies, rather, there is a character, a hero in the story. And, the character has a problem the character is trying to solve. But for most movies, the character needs a guide. There would be a guide. The character actually needs that guide that gives them a plan, or calls them to action, or assists them in achieving whatever they need to do in that movie. That guide is what you want to project your product to be. Alright, in their story. So simply put, you get to understand this clear, right? So keep getting clearer as you go on. So simply put, you acknowledge them as the hero in their story. You look for their problem, how it affects them, how your products, what's your products trying to solve for them. Alright, that problem, what it's trying to solve, what they are trying to accomplish with it. You don't start announcing all the good things about your product yet. You just simply position your product as a guide that helps them achieve what they need to achieve. Simple. That's how you sell. Okay, so the character has a problem, needs a guide who gives them a plan and calls them to action. So your product in this scenario will be the guide, falls as the guide. So forget all the character. Don't make the story about your product. Your product is the best in the world, is good, yada yada yada. Right? No. All you need to do is your product is simply a guide that is helping the character fulfill their desire, fulfill their destiny, their life purpose, their mission, depending on the script. Alright? So now I'll give some practical examples as you go through this. It gets more interesting. So first to do this, you have to understand the need of your customers. Alright? So you have to understand the problem they are trying to solve. So every product is to meet a need, right? So there are two kinds of needs. There's a physical need, there's emotional need. The physical need is the most obvious one. Alright, so for example, Simply Up Academy. Alright, I don't know. So I try to go first. For example, Simply Up Academy, as a brand, as a company, what's the physical need for participants? You just want to get a skill. That's the most obvious one to discover. You don't need to think too much to pick out the physical need. They want to learn a skill. Of course, the reason why you're in this class, why you're hearing my voice, this lecture, is because you're paid to learn digital marketing. Isn't that obvious? Very obvious. You wanted to learn digital marketing. So, but most times the problem people have is that they sell to the physical need. Right? They try to sell sell their products to achieve the physical needs. And then when you sell, this is my you know, my automatic theory that would help you. Don't sell to the physical need. If you try selling to the physical need, trying, like when you're trying to sell, what I mean selling to the physical need is you are trying to sell to people to help them meet the physical need of your product. Let me come again to explain. I stated that there are two categories of needs for every product that every product is trying to meet. All right, every business, every service, every influencer. All right, you're trying to meet the physical need, and you're also trying to meet an emotional need. The physical need is the most obvious one. All right, like the logical reason why anybody should get that product. Okay, so for example, I gave an example with Simply Up Academy. All right, so Simply Up Academy, the physical need, you want to learn digital marketing. That's why you enrolled for this course. Is that not easy to guess? That's the magic. All right, so now the physical need. Now there is the emotional need. The emotional need, you usually get the emotional need by going a step further, asking why. All right, that's what I learned. Asking why. Why do you want to get this physical need? All right, so it's simple. The reason why you enrolled for this course is because you want to get this skill. You want to learn digital marketing, right? But then when I begin to ask each of you, why do you want to learn digital marketing? Then I can start picking up the emotional needs attached. That's clear, right? Because I've done my research, I know the emotional needs associated with the business already. All right. So when I'm trying to sell, I'm not selling to, and again, I'm giving you this. Don't sell to the physical need. When you try selling to people to meet the physical need of your product, you end up making your product the hero in the story. All right. You definitely, and this is what I think. All right. My opinion, you definitely end up making your product the hero in that story. You end up making the story being all about the product rather than being all about the customer. And remember the golden rule. Okay, it's not called golden rule, I'm just stating it that way. Now the golden rule from this session is that every person wants to be the hero in their own story. Simply put, every person wants to be the hero in their own story. So the easy way to make sure you always make the consumer or your target audience the hero in their own stories when you sell, you sell to meet the emotional needs associated with your product. So for example, if I ask why do you want to get a skill, then I start finding emotional needs. I want to advance my career. One. All right, that's an emotional need associated with my product. Every product has its own peculiar emotional needs attached to it, and its own peculiar physical needs attached. The emotional needs can be multiple. It usually springs up from the physical needs. All right, so physical needs sometimes just sometimes it's one simple, very obvious, always staring at you kind of need. All right, but the emotional need, you can get it by asking why. Just digging one step further. Why do you want to learn digital marketing? I want to advance my career. I want to get a job. That should be somebody else's. You want to get a job. All right. So, how people are working online, making money. I want to work online and make money from the comfort of my home. These are emotional needs people have. So if I want to sell Simply Up Academy, if I want to advertise it to you, I want to come and tell you, hey, come and get a tech skill. We are the best academy in town. In fact, hearing that sounds funny to me, right? We have certain structures set in place. We put you in group, appoint team leads, follow you up, have the most amazing lecturer training you. You can always have questions. You can always ask your questions. You get them answered. We give you materials, give you exercise files. You can learn at your own pace, but during a time frame. All right, it's convenient and it's still structured. Beautiful. I can start telling you all the beautiful things about Simply Up Academy, but then that's all good. To me, that doesn't make sense to sell. That's not the right way to sell. I'm selling the physical need. I'm just simply selling to somebody that all the person wants to achieve in life is to get a skill. All right, which is not really the truth. All right, if I want to sell, which is what most people do, there will be an assignment, right? Let me give you a heads up at the end of this class for you to pick out the physical needs for this brand, for your own, for a business of your choice. Pick out your emotional needs, then you submit them. They will be reviewed, of course. So the physical need, the emotional need. There will also be an assignment for you to draft marketing messages for me, based on the business of your choice. So for some of before this class, some of you, that's what you just do, the physical need sell. But the emotional, when you sell into people, that's actually, that's a bad way to sell. All right, my opinion, bad way to sell. Don't go that route. Always sell to the emotional need. All right. So when you sell into the emotional need, when you sell into the emotional need, for example, in the case of Simply Up Academy, instead of telling you how that we are the best academy, self-paced, you can learn at your own pace, but then we have weekly assignment review classes where you get to interact live with your instructor, and instead of confining to your regime, you go through the classes at your own pace, and then you get the live session where you ask questions, facilitate learning, how we push collaboration, push networking, help you get exposed to meet other persons and build relationships, and all those beautiful, beautiful things that are actually very true and good of Simply Up Academy, the physical need. I rather tell you, I rather sell, if I want to sell to somebody, first of all, the first thing is to have a target audience in mind. I could just pick a target audience and understand that, okay, this is what I'm selling to. I'll tell you something like, so let me say, for example, I'm assuming this person is a business owner. Low battery, please charge. So I'll go through the route of saying, I know you want to make sales in your business because things are in businesses, like, it's hard to make sales, right? Businesses are crumbling. Of course, this could be from a conversation I've started. So businesses are crumbling, and it's just getting tough at this period to get more customers. And I get the person conversation, say yes, 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 yeah. Then it's very important to make sales, because if you don't double the sales you are making, you'll not be able to meet up with the inflation going on in the country. Then why not just register for a skill, learn learn digital marketing, so that you can apply the knowledge in getting sales for your business. That's how I'm talking to a business person. If I'm talking to a person I want to maybe advance in career, instead of going about the physical need, I'll go about the emotional need. Instead of trying to tell you how good the brand is, how good we work, all of those stuff, I'd rather tell you about getting jobs is quite easier. If you have the required skills people are looking for, there's a lot of vacancies, but it's just having to go through the right structures. Right, that even look more preachy. I'm trying to do this off the spot, alright, so not premeditated or anything like that. I could just be like, do you know you can actually get jobs online? You don't have to go to the office to working for international companies online, getting paid in dollars from the comfort of your home, and actually earn better than most people, even though you don't have a number of years of experience like most other fields would require. Person will be like, wow, really? I said, yes, it's true. Even with just a year of experience, you can get a good high paying job online, not necessarily like earning in USD, not necessarily your currency. So yes, so you just have to learn a tech skill, but you have to make sure you learn it well from the right, from the right place, right organization, and then Simply Up Academy is on. Now, if I'm selling to you that way, and I'm just coming to tell you about Simply Up Academy straight, blowing, telling you about the physical needs, which one would appeal more to you to buy? Is it the one that is selling the physical need, or the one that is selling the emotional need? Now, I'll give you more examples during this class as I go on. All right, and I'll tell you how for example, I'm just coming up with these things. So like I planned what to say, like when I'm saying the emotional need before now, and how easy it is to just come up with these things. All right. Let alone when you are not settled down to pick up a message. All right. So it's just that easy and simple to do when you focus on selling to the emotional needs. So that's the trick. That's the magic. First of all, know the physical need, then know the emotional need. So the physical need is just to help you know the emotional need. All right. There's no way you know the emotional need if you don't ask why on the physical need. When you ask why on the physical need, you get emotional need. Then don't sell to the physical need. That is a command from me. Don't sell to the physical need. Sell to the emotional needs. All right. Find out. Remember, your product is just a guide that helps the consumer achieve what they want to get. It's not the hero in the story. All right. Find out the problem they are trying to solve. That's where the target audience comes in. For example, the first time I tried selling, I told you about the example I just gave you now. The first time I just crafted a message, I crafted one for somebody that owns a business and tried to use the passion of wanting to get more sales and linked it up back to Simply Up Academy. All right. So that's one of the emotional needs. The second one, somebody that wants more money, showing, it's just an aspirational identity. How the person can get more money, earn more, get a job, and then tied that passion, that need to Simply Up Academy. So they are your customers, they already underlying needs that these people have. Instead of coming to tell people about how good your product is, they don't need that. Just position your product as a guide whenever you're marketing. This is how to communicate to your target audience. Position your products as a guide that helps them solve the problem they already have in their own story. Don't come and introduce don't introduce your story to they don't want your story. Don't introduce your story to their story. Alright. Just position your product as a guide that helps them achieve what they want in their own story. Simple. Leaving them as the hero of their story. So that's it, that done. So to do that, simply, we already stated out, you must, again, we talk about how this would also help you with brand clarity. All right. But I mentioned how that aside brand clarity, it also would emphasize on messaging. So these things, when you begin to ask yourself these questions, it also become, it also help you become clear about the value you have to offer. Right, the service, what you are, the service you are offering, the products you're offering. So each of these questions should be answered by you. What does the hero want? Right, you have to be clear about what does the hero want. Make that research. The hero, of course, is your target audience, your customer. What do they want to achieve? Their physical needs, their emotional needs. Be clear about what they want to achieve. All right, take the time, do the research, do the work, think through, answer each of these questions you have on your screen all through. Right, the slides will be available to you. What does the hero want? Answer that. Who or what is opposing the hero from getting what he wants? Who is the enemy? Who is the boss? Alright. Who is the enemy in their story? Who is the devil they are trying to defeat? So who or what is opposing the hero from getting what they want? Alright, so someone's like, why are we doing this? This is not so important, but doing this will for sure give you clarity. And if that's all I can explain to you for why I should do this, that's enough. Alright, clarity for your own brand. Who is the enemy in the story? See, this thing is important. I wish I could have more time to delve. Of course, we have all the time. I'm not rushing anywhere. I remember a book I read from the mentor I mentioned. So her name is Toyin Mesiri. She has a book, the one that was former brand strategist at Walmart before she left to start her own business and doing excellently well. Big things currently there in US where she is at. So she has a book, Marketing Like Jesus. Marketing Like Jesus. Now, of course, it's an awesome book. You don't have to be a Christian to read the book, in case you know Jesus associated with. Alright, people read about Jesus that are not Christians. People from different religions. The goal is just understanding marketing. Alright, so but just heads up, there could be some terms. It's not by force anyway. But one thing she made clear in her book was pointing the enemy out. Alright, and I don't necessarily remember how she stated it, because this was in a conversation before I actually went to read her book with her. The conversation with her, and I think if I remember clearly, she was like, how they always point out people, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, these are the people trying to deceive you. So you were like, how would I put it? Don't be like the Pharisees. Jesus, while he was on earth teaching him, be like, don't be like the Pharisees, don't be like the Sadducees. So how would I put it? I know how to put it, but I just want to make sure I don't communicate something else I'm not trying to communicate. Okay, so using that example, Jesus would always point and say, don't be like, points at the Pharisees, the Sadducees. So he knew who the enemy was in that story. Not enemy as his own enemy, but enemy that could stop the heroes in his own story from achieving what they wanted to achieve, So he was trying to, let's put it this way, so he's trying to help the people achieve a particular result. Alright, but there is an obstacle that can prevent them from getting that result. Alright, so he calls it out. So in marketing too, you have to be clear about the problem and you call it out. So who and what is opposing the hero from getting what they want? Alright, so remember, the story is about the consumer. The consumer are the heroes in their story. So you find out what they want, what they need, what is opposing the hero from getting what they want? Alright, so what's opposing them from getting what they want? And when you find it, call it you call it out. Alright, this does not have to be in all of your marketing. This doesn't have to be in your marketing messages. But what this will do for you is that let's say at least you can use this as idea to craft copies, even though you don't put this, because one thing, remember I said your marketing message has to be simple and short, clear communication. So don't give them a puzzle to solve. Alright, so you're really drafting marketing messages for your ads. Okay, so but with this you can generate content, enough content for your business, for your brand, even though you don't put it as even though you don't use it for your ads, all right, for your marketing messages, but at least you can have content that'll be on your landing pages, your website, all right. Things, for example, for Simply Academy, I know one of the enemies in this context, right? What I'm trying to explain, the things opposing the hero from getting what he wants is, the financial power, the low financial power in Africa, how that economic power is not, what's the right word? How much they have to spend to learn tech, to access professional training. That's financial power is not really very available. So hence they cannot really pay for the right skills. So for you to have some academies, I will not even spend your time teaching all these things I'm teaching you, but that would also do the good jobs. All right. So let me not let me not sound like you are the all perfect academy in the world. So that would give you the kind of quality we give. All right. So you finding, maybe you go to course like Udacity, charging costs $300 plus. Even African brands, let me even leave Udacity. Like, okay, I think $300 plus, $500 plus to learn marketing. That's an enemy in achieving the skill, right? Then we kind of cut down those costs and sachetize the program. Split it into bits. So we are clear of who and what is opposing the hero from getting what they want. All right. So this one falls more into the category of brand clarity. All right. This is the work you will do for yourself. Nobody will do this work for you. All right. And that's if you are a business owner, or if you are trying to help a business owner as a marketing specialist build their brand, develop their brand. All right. So I already introduced what the brand and branding means from the beginning of this class. So, but for some of you just career based, you're not necessarily learning this to apply to your business per se. All of this work has already been done. So, but it's still good for you to understand all of this in case you don't know, at least as a professional, all right, which is what you're raising you to be as a professional. So, what is opposing the hero from getting what they want? This one is also to help you, like I already stated, with brand clarity. It would also help you it will really, really help you with brand clarity, understanding what you have to offer in the process. So what would the hero life look like if he or she didn't get what they want? Like, okay, so remember your product all right, is trying to help the hero achieve what they want to achieve. Maybe their aspirational identity, to survive and thrive. What there's something they are looking for. Just position your product as one of the things that is helping them achieve that. All right. So now, they have to see it as important in achieving it. All right. You have to communicate it as important in achieving one of those things. So you have to picture. You also have to answer the question of, if the hero doesn't achieve this thing, how would their life look like? You note that down. Why? You would also paint it to them. You will paint it to them at some point. All this would also help in your messaging. All right. So again, I've answered why you should answer these questions. What does the hero want? Who or what is opposing the hero from getting what they want? The third one is, why would the hero life? What would the hero life look like if he or she didn't get what they want? All right. So, this is also good for messaging. All right, because biopsychology somehow, fear is one of the emotions that we used to trigger sales, right, in marketing. Fear is one of the emotions being used. So you let them know that this is the cost. All right, so point the cost. This is what it would cost you if you ignore this product. All right, what would the hero life look like if he or she didn't get what they want? All right, so answer that question particular to your business. Then you can also craft marketing messages from there. Simple. It always has to be simple and short. So just so somehow if you want to maybe craft more content, maybe a blog post or something that is geared towards making sales. Because remember, there's content marketing and there's strategy in creating content. Every content should have an end goal, all right, which is to maybe to get a sale or something, all right, to get a sale. For some of the contents, every business should have content geared to that arena. So when you are communicating, remember, messaging is what you are trying to communicate to your target audience. So when you are communicating to your target audience, there should always be a goal in mind before you communicate. Alright, but this time is well thought out. I know before you thought the only goal is come and buy. Or you thought that was the message, but now thank God, probably from by now you should have at least there should be a little clarity, if not, big clarity. Okay, so you should be clear about the goal, alright, and which strategy you are using, alright, to achieve that goal. Whether you are trying to attack an emotional need, because there could be several, in most cases, there are several emotional needs for each businesses. So you be clear about, okay, I want to attack this emotional need. I want to attack this other emotional need. I give you an example from my business. I give two marketing, marketing the right way, all right, selling to emotional needs. And I pointed out two emotions. So to an emotional need of a business owner trying to increase sales. So to the emotional need of somebody trying to, helping somebody see the possibility of getting a job, a foreign job, and then being well paid, earning in dollars. So know which emotional need you're trying to attack. I'm using the word attack, but hope you get what I mean. You're not literally attacking, but that's just the term, attack. Then this one, what would the hero life look like if he or she didn't get what they want? So okay, that's still another process, another approach, another strategy in using to come up with marketing messages or selling. All right, using the emotion fear, right, triggering fear. Not in a cruel or crude way, as it sounds. People will be like, "Oh, these people are evil. They trigger fear." Not that bad. So it's just exactly what it states. It states, "Let me make our career look decent and appealing enough." All right. So, what would the hero life look like if he or she didn't get what they want? You are simply portraying to them what their life would look like if they didn't get what they want. All right. You are showing them the cost of missing out of this. Remember, all this is from an emotional need standpoint, all right? And after you show them what their life would look like if they don't get this, then you point them to the solution, which is your product, so that to avoid their life not being like that. So there are different emotions involved with sales. So initially, you are pointing out a fear, triggering a fear, then providing them a solution to avoid that fear. Simple. So there are different emotions involved with selling. Let me just add that there is FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. Since I already talked about fear, I just thought to chip that in right now. So fear of missing out is things you see when people buy something and then the people, the brands keep, maybe if you visit the page and they tell you something like you see notifications, somebody just ordered this some minute ago, somebody just ordered this 1 hour ago, or they tell you 300,000 people from from X number of countries have purchased this. Those things, okay, in case you didn't know, they are doing something, is to trigger FOMO, fear of missing out, right? So you'd be like, this is good, I don't want to miss out of this. All right, so not all this would necessarily be used in your ads copy directly. All right, so like I said, there's psychology involved in marketing, and that's what I've been unveiling all through this session. And not all of this would be used in your marketing message, the one you are spending for ads. All right, remember what I said, just that the one for ads just has to be simple and short, easy, very simple and short. All right, but you can use this one to create social media content when you're typing on your, depending on your marketing channels, maybe your blog, if you're using your WhatsApp status, this should guide how you communicate to your target audience when you're trying to get a sale. Right, instead of the regular approach, if you're communicating with them all this while. So we'll soon be wrapping up with this, and then I think, okay, I outlined this here. This is an example using Simply Up Academy as a case study. The physical need is to get the tech skill. So the emotional need, there are more emotional need attached to the business than even this one. If I want to deep dig deeper. But the emotional need attached to Simple Academy or to learning a skill is to make more money, to get a job, to build a business, to live a comfortable life, to be established. Alright, so I can just pick any of these emotional need and sell to somebody. Simple. I will not pick a physical need to sell to you. I'll not pick a physical need to craft a marketing message. I'll pick an emotional need. So instead of picking get a tech skill, which is the most obvious physical need, I'll just tell you about why I should live a comfortable life. People want to live a comfortable life. They want to settle down. They want to get married. Oh my goodness. Why is this? I'm just showing you how easy it is to sell actually. Alright. So why do you want to go through the stress of selling to an emotional need where you can sell to an emotional need? Alright. So and again, each of these emotional need has their target audience. So you have to know who you are talking to. So if the emotional need shows the state of the person, all right, to make more money means this person is in a state where the person wants to make more money. To get a job means this person is looking for a job. It doesn't necessarily mean, okay, the person could be unemployed. Obviously, unemployed people fall into that category, but the person could be also employed looking for a better job. So that helps you know how to craft a marketing message. The person wants to build a business, all right? So I want to build a business. Let me do a freestyle example. Hope this goes well. Okay, so I think I've given free sales script on make more money and get a job. Now let me sell to you based on build a business. So everybody wants to build an amazing business. Everybody wants to build a business that will fail. Right. So if you want to build a business, the hope is that what you have in mind is to build a business that will be successful. All right. That will be profitable. Maybe a multi-million-dollar business if you are as enthusiastic as I am. But the summary is that nobody wants to build a business that will fail. Wants to build a business that will bring you money. So if you don't have so much capital, all right, even if you have too much capital, it would save you a lot if you have the right skills. Certain skills will be required before building, before starting to build your business. All right, and one of those skills is graphic design, digital marketing, website design, except you're going to hire professionals to do this for you. But if you want your business to scale, all right, really scale online business, all right, scale online, you cannot really escape this. Now, I'm not really in a good mood to pick up this. I know I would do better on a normal day. I'm probably exhausted already. But come to think of it, as weak as that sounds, okay, maybe I'll just relax again and do that better. But as weak as that sounds, that would go way better than trying to convince somebody based on the physical need. No doubt. Alright, so it will always go better than trying to convince somebody based on the physical need. Basically, I could just trigger a fear and just say, businesses are shutting down, right? Business is closed. Give you the stats of how much business is closed and how it's a hard world out there doing business. And how most business people just pretend as though they are big guys, have more time, more freedom. Meanwhile, some of them are looking crying, begging to do a job because they don't have a successful business. Alright, but you can be a different kind of business owner if you have the required skills and you learn these skills before starting your own business. Sure you get. So you can just learn. If you learn these skills before going to start a business, you will save your life. You learn graphic design, you learn digital marketing, especially because selling is the real business of every business. Alright, you learn graphic design. Now, you see, when I'm selling to you like this, it doesn't even look like I'm selling to you. It doesn't look like I'm selling to you, but I've actually sold to you. And the truth is, I wasn't really convinced. I'm just helping you. I'm making your life better. That's what we're doing. I just help make your life better. So the consumer has to see how your product is a guide that helps them achieve their own need. All right, with them being the hero in their own story. Don't make your product the hero in the story. All right. So with that being said, we're wrapping up this class with this. So remember, point out your physical need, emotional need. So draft some messaging, but this class won't be complete without an assignment. All right. So then we'll have a live review session where we can actually delve, have interactive based session on this. So the assignment is to discover the physical and emotional need of the target audience of any business as product of your choice. Alright, and the second one is to draft 3 short marketing messages that sells to the client's emotional needs. Remember, I specified emotional needs. Alright, draft 3 short marketing messages that sells to the client's emotional needs. That would be all for this session. Then we'll move on to the next thing in line with this. I hope this has been actually insightful. See you in the next class. Thank you.